Hey Scorpio! This is TC, your guiding chariot. Welcome to your second July or second week of July. I don't know. Where are we? Your second reading. This is going to be a timeless general reading for Scorpio sun, moon, and rising signs. Timeless because we all know time is an illusion. So whether you find this in July, September, next July, 2030, doesn't matter. The message will be relevant whenever you come across it. My only ask is that because it's general, only take the parts that resonate. If you find a part of the message that doesn't make sense to your situation, don't try to force it. Leave that on the table. Take everything else. Before I start, I hope you guys are all doing well. Sorry, I'm like reaching across the table because, she's never prepared. But again, I hope you guys are doing well. I know everything is still cray and wonky. We are officially out of eclipse season, which is exciting and wonderful. A big part of what I kind of want to focus this reading on is what's kind of going on for each of us now that we're out of eclipse season. We're still in eclipse energy. We most likely will have it through the rest of the year. Usually it can take, anywhere from 3 up to 6 months to kind of feel things shifting and changing. So some of you might be sooner, some of you might be later. And I would say also this will kind of shift depending on your rising sign. So wherever your rising sign is, that kind of lets you know what signs are governing what house. Generally for Scorpio, where this last eclipse in Capricorn fell, it's having a lot to do with your own kind of perspective, your personal perspective. And it could be about the world, it could be about your own trajectory and where you're going, heading, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of want to see what is going on there. I'm going to start with the Keepers of the Light Oracle. I have had the weirdest feelings since... Oh, there we go. Thank you. Since eclipse season's over. I was about to talk about it, but looks like we got your reading started. So let's see. What do we have? Beautiful. So you guys have Paul the Venetian. What is it? Experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Beautiful. I was just talking about, now in this space of finding a new perspective, finding a new direction. And here we've got some guidance and some quote-unquote inspiration coming your way. Now, this card doesn't necessarily always have to talk about love. I always see love in it, but I just think because of the colors and that beautiful rose and the heart chakra. Wow. What is wrong with my tongue? The heart chakra. Right? So I always think it's this kind of nice pink, unconditionally loving, romantic energy, but it does not have to be. It's just something I always see in this card. And again, that unconditional loving energy can be to yourself, right? It can be about forgiving yourself. It can be about accepting, what has been happening, what choices you've made maybe, where it got you. Maybe it's not exactly where you want to be, and we are just recalibrating. We're figuring that out. But I will say experiencing grace popping up is a big sign to be gentle. And again, not only to those around you, but also to yourself. Probably more so to yourself right now. Right? It's not about stinging yourself in punishment of, I should have done this, I should have done that, why am I here, why did da-da-da-da-da, I must have made a mistake some point, why did I say yes to that, why did I throw that away? Again, all of us have a long list of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Right now, Scorpio is not a time to be punishing yourself or anyone else for that. So to me, this grace is about kindness. And again, I think most of this is being directed towards you. It's kindness to yourself, forgiving yourself for, whatever has gone down, whatever's been happening. There's even a good chance that you might be upset over things that really were outside of everyone's control. There really isn't anyone that you can kind of blame for it. Oh, turn these guys around. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Okay. So bottom of the deck, you guys have the Strength card right now. I'm going to leave it like that so we can have it visible. There we go. You guys can see it. So started off, we have the Hangman and the Seven of Pentacles. Look at that. Wait. Six, sorry. The minute I said it, I was like, wait, did I say the right thing? Six of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. So, honestly, these energies are perfect next to each other and with each other. So the Hangman, all about stillness. It's that pause, right? We're being suspended. We're upside down, not making any forward movement. A lot of people have kind of been forced into a hangman kind of moment, considering everything that's going on in the world. Even though we're starting to open back up, we're not 100% yet. Some places may even start closing back down again. So it's this desire to possibly want to move forward, want to progress. This is really the moment for that. Whether it's not right, or whether it's not safe, or whether the opportunity is not there, it could be a list of things. For you right now, since we can't move forward, this is a moment of introspection. This is a moment to go within and re-examine, re-evaluate, with all the retrogrades even more so. And having the Six of Pentacles come out. This six is all about kind of being in the flow and being in the rhythm and kind of letting things come and go as they please and not really being hyper attached to anything. So as we're kind of balled up, as we're pulling within ourselves, it's really wise just to be the observer, right? Watch these things go by you. Try not to hold on to them or grab them, right? If they come, they come. If they go, they go. Like, if it's meant to be with you, it will stick. It's not going to go anywhere, right? Even if it does go, it will come back, depending on what the situation is. What's really important isn't all this external things, because we're not trying to make a progression. There's a lot of inner work going on right now, Scorpio, and that could be many things for many of us. Like, that could be healing. It could be, like I said, with this like kind of reevaluating perspectives and I was going to say penetration. It's not the word I wanted. Like propulsion, the trajectory, where you want to go. Sorry about that. This hangman is an opportunity for stillness, to not push so hard. Seriously, what is this little moped doing? All right, now it's gone. It's a moment to kind of just enjoy not pushing so much and just go within. Thank you. Like, I'm sorry, you guys have all the traffic noise. But the smartest thing to do is to be the observer. As things come and go, just watch them, let them pass. Doesn't matter. It's a point where you can evaluate how do things make you feel. What are your thoughts on this? Is this something you want to incorporate into where you're going or integrate into your life? If it's not, great. Let it go. If it is, figure out what part stays. What do you want to kind of bring in? Once the hangman moment is over, we can move forward and move out of it. Then you can make all the choices you want. Right now just isn't that time. You have to be fluid right now. And you're a water sign. You're an intense water sign, but you're still a water sign. And it's a little out of character for me to tell you this, not because you're intense, but because you're fixed. You're a fixed sign. So, it's a good thing, because your focus gets all thrown in, you're all in, and you can be dedicated to something. Here I'm telling you to not do that. So it is kind of fighting, your natural tendencies, but it's just because this isn't the time. Doing that and being so rigid isn't going to help you in the long run, right? It's not. Even look at what's on the bottom of the deck, the Strength card. The Strength card isn't about overpowering. It's not about brute force. It's super gentle. It's super mild. And again, we have this storyline of the rose, because look what's in that lion's mouth. So again, that symbol of sweetness and romance and love and, all these nice, warm, fuzzy feelings. This is the time to be gentle and kind and just to kind of go with it. Next card out, we have the Mother of Swords, would be the Queen of Swords in a traditional deck. Mother of Swords, to me, is the ultimate observer. Ultimate observer. She is not attached to anything. Everything is very black and white with her as well. So this is either helping me or hindering me. If it's hindering me, I'm going to cut it off right now. Like, I don't even need to bother with it. Take it off. You're wasting my time. So again, it's that idea just to be watchful and observe and assess, right? Here there's this level of discernment with the Mother of Swords that's really about, is this good or is this bad? Can I use this? Can I not? Is this helping me grow or is it wasting my time? And if it's wasting your time, that's the one, just, okay, bye. Send it on its way. I don't need to entertain you anymore. And if you like it, okay, how do we use that? Because ultimately, this is what we're creating, our lovely Ten of Cups, right? all these happy elements woven together, creating this beautiful spectrum, right? This is our happily ever after. This is the, everything you could ever dream of or want exists in this card. Oh, look, and there, more tens. Beautiful. All right. More and more good news, Scorpio. So we just talked about the 10 of Cups. Now you have the 10 of Pentacles. Abundance, commitment, long-lasting. This, I think, is wonderful because here it's clarifying our Hanged Man. So we know we're going through introspection. We know we're kind of reevaluating and reassessing, right? I would say the biggest question here, especially since it's being clarified by this 10 of Pentacles, is I would say stereotypically you could sum it up in saying, like, what do you want to be remembered for, right? Because the 10 of Pentacles is about longevity. It's something that lasts generations. So that's just an example, but it's really about what are the big significant grounding factors? Like, what are the permanents? What are the must-haves? What are the, like, pillars of this new you, this new outlook? What does that look like? What does it feel like? What's going to stand the test of time? Right? If you could only have a few things with you for the rest of your days, what would those be? Right? What would that happily ever after be like? What are the things that have to be there to make this true and make this last? Right? Because I will say, for some of you, if not all of you or a lot of you, that probably has changed, considering what's happened in our world recently. Yay, more traffic. I don't know what it is. It was so quiet, and then all of a sudden you're reading, Scorpio. They're coming for you. But it's really, what are these elements that make up this beautiful happily ever after? Clarifying your 6 of Pentacles, you have the 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. I love it. So again, I told you, the forcing, the pushing, the asserting yourself, not necessarily the road to getting your wishes granted. The way there is through being fluid, through allowing and observing and just kind of letting things come and go as they please. We also have the Mother of Wands coming out under the Mother of Swords. So this also is kind of a beautiful energy. We know that the Mother of Wands or Queen of Wands, hyper manifester, but she has a much more magnetic, attractive, seductive energy about her. And I mean, Scorpios, you guys know how to do sexy, so I'm not worried about that. What is kind of being called for here is that magnetism, right? There's a lot of charm and charisma that comes with this particular card. And it's all about kind of drawing all those elements to you. Because this queen is not getting off her throne. Like, here, these are two completely different energies. Like, Queen of Swords over here, her sword is at the ready. You say the wrong thing, she cuts your head off. Like, she is very active. She's like, nope, don't got time with that. And, there's a tendency to swing the sword first before you ask any questions, right? So this is a really aggressive, assertive energy, right? When really charged up, outside of just being observing. If she whips this sword out, someone's losing their head. The Queen of Wands here, she's not getting off her throne. She's not getting off her throne for no one unless she wants to. She's going to sit there and everything comes to her. The boys come to her, the opportunities come to her, the wealth comes to her. So this is the energy I want you sitting in. Now, when you're in your introspection, yes, you want to be the observer. You want to be the observer because this is where you're fine-tuning, right? Because once you eliminate the fat, forgive the... It's not an insulting phrase. I don't know why I'm like, forgive that. So there's someone backing in the driveway, so I hope you can still hear me over all of this. But this is an energy where you're calibrating, right? You're getting rid of the fat so you can just focus on the meat of the situation. Once that phase is done, right? Once we come out of this hangman and we understand why we had to go through this pause, the energy is still not about being assertive and going out and whipping that tail around, because then you just become a magnet. So you have to use that intensity, that innate intensity that happens with you, and use it to channel the feelings. Use it to bring those opportunities to you. But you have to be really clear and solid in what those are first, right? Because if you don't know what you're attracting, how are you going to call it forward, right? And you have to use that feeling. You have to use that feeling to bring it in, right? Because thinking about it is nice, but that's only step one. It's the feeling that causes that connection, right? And that's what the Mother of Wands fully understands. Fully understands. Like, fiercely. And then you also have the Hierophant card, which again is another card of commitment, right? It is a card of commitment, but to me this is a card of spiritual understanding and spiritual growth. There may be a religious aspect for some of you out there, but to me this is really relying on your faith. Again, because I haven't told you anything about making a decision, making a call, nothing like that. There's really not a whole lot of action to be taken. Like, even when you look at your oracle, experiencing grace. So there is a lot of like patience and trusting and allowing divine timing to work its way out. And it's through, your spiritual practice, your faith, and that could be many, many different things for all of us. But it's through that where you just kind of channel this energy to bring about your ending and align with it. Now, I'm not saying you're going to sit and make a wish and then suddenly you get the big house, the perfect husband, the family, the job, whatever it is. That's not what I'm saying. You're going to have to do something about it. But what is happening here, we're just aligning with this happily ever after. Right? So I will say for most of you, this is coming down the road. This isn't tomorrow, right? There's still going to be some time that has to pass and work itself out. But right now is your planning stage. Right now is where you get the details sorted out. And again, clear out the old, like, junk that's in the way, right? This whole eclipse season is about clearing out all that clutter so you have a clear and accurate perspective. Because you have grown through all of this. You have grown, you've elevated, you've changed. Your perspective is probably shifting, if not already shifted. This is about kind of taking that to the next step and applying it, right? How are we applying this shift, and how are we solidifying this shift so that now it can start to bring in the next, the new, the growth, the whatever wish is being granted here. We already see that in the Nine of Cups. So lots of positive energies coming out for you, but this is the moment of alignment. Moment of alignment, okay? Whew. All right, my lovelies. I'm going to wrap up your reading there. As always, I'm sending you love and gratitude and thanks for all the support and love you've shared with me. If you're not already, hit that red subscribe button and join our little family. Side note, I did put up our second Timeless Tuesday reading, so if you haven't seen that yet or didn't see the notifications, notifications have been kind of weird. I have been hearing that some people aren't getting it even though the video is up, or like they get the notification, go to the video, and then realize it's been up for 2 days, so it's coming in at weird times. So just kind of be aware with that. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I don't necessarily like to blame everything on Mercury retrograde, but that's a very retrograde situation. But just heads up, if you have notifications on, they still might be a little wonky. So just to be aware of that. But I did put up our second Timeless Tuesday, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how that's going, since it's such a new thing for the channel. But other than that, sending you lots of love. Take care. Stay safe. Stay sane. Enjoy the rest of this month, and I will see you next week. Bye, Scorpio.